Thank you so much for coming out to Balboa Park today. It's a delightful day. We are thrilled that you could be here. We have a very exciting goal. My name is Peter Comiskey, and we start on time. And I am Exec Director of the Balboa Park Cultural Partnership. For those of you who are not aware, Balboa Park is impacted by, goodness, over 85 different non-profits, and all in a phenomenal way. 27 of those are accessible to the public in various forms, and a number of those are also museums that have general exhibitions, 17. Of the 27 out of that larger number of 85, they comprise the Balboa Park Cultural Partnership. My job is to simply make sure that all the opportunities we can drive to have these groups to collaborate together are maximised. That's what the Balboa Park Cultural Partnership does. This could not be a better example of what is possible. Today we're announcing a very big goal, which is moving our LEED building goal, the environmental rating building goal, up to 10 buildings within Balboa Park, and that's a huge, huge achievement. To help us to look at that today, we have a number of very critical people in the audience. I won't introduce them all. I'll just point out here, Ben Clay is here with 2015 to help us get to that wonderful milestone. We have a number of executive directors and critical people. Betty Peabody, the founder of the Friends group. Of course, Interim Mayor Gloria. Doug Cott from San Diego Green Building Council. I'll talk about him in a couple of minutes. And then, of course, our amazing friends from SDG&E. Without the SDG&E, many programs, opportunities, this simply would not be possible. There is no way that these institutions can afford or would be able or would have the intelligence to run, intelligence is the wrong word, have the information, sorry executive directors, have the information to run these type of sustainability programs. And so the thanks goes to Frank Tussin from SDG&E and all the SDG&E team. I'd like to introduce to you the Executive Director of the Museum of Photographic Arts and more importantly from my perspective, the Chair of the Balboa Park Cultural Partnership Board, Deborah Klochko.
Thank you, Peter. Arthur Malcolm Gladwell stated, "The visionary starts with a clean sheet of paper and reimagines the world." In 2008, the Balboa Park Sustainability Program was launched. This visionary collaboration of Balboa Park Cultural Partnership, San Diego Gas and Electric, and the City of San Diego has worked together to reimagine our world. Since the inception of the sustainability program, virtually every institution in the park has taken steps to become more energy efficient. "Vision is the art of seeing the invisible," wrote essayist Jonathan Swift. While most of the changes are invisible to the average individual, the Balboa Park Cultural Partnership's efforts have assisted its member institutions to implement more than 70 energy-saving projects, saving more than 6 million kilowatt hours through heating, ventilation, air conditioning upgrades, lighting retrofits, and computer server consolidation. All of this adding up to more than savings of $1 million annually. These results have made us an award-winning program, having earned the California Sustainable Alliance's Sustainability Showcase Award, say that fast 3 times, and SDG&E's Energy Champions Award in 2013. The combined efforts of the Balboa Park Cultural Partnership, City of San Diego, SDG&E, and the San Diego Green Building Council have led to the certification of 3 buildings under the U.S. Green Building Council's leadership in energy efficiency and design rating system for existing buildings. These include the San Diego Natural History Museum, Reuben H. Fleet Science Center, and the World Beat Cultural Center. You may think that 3 confirmed LEED certified buildings in the park will be quite an accomplishment, and it will be, but that's only partway to our goal. Ultimately, we are working together towards 10 LEED certified buildings in the park as our Centennial goal. In addition to the buildings currently certified, we have identified 7 buildings to be certified for our Centennial goal. These buildings are Casa de Balboa, Casa del Prado, House of Charm, San Diego Art and Science Museum, San Diego Hall of Champions Sports Museum, San Diego Museum of Man, and the Old Globe Theater, where we are today. As an executive director of a museum in one of these buildings, I'm excited for the transformation that is happening in our beloved park. Achieving official LEED certification highlights the park institution's achievements in environmental performance and its commitment to sustainability, but it represents much more than that. It represents change, transformation, legacy for the future, and real leadership. I'd like to thank SDG&E for their leadership in envisioning a dynamic and sustainable legacy for today as well as future generations. It is through the strong partnerships with the city, Interim Mayor Gloria, SDG&E, and the San Diego Green Building Council that we've been able to create a park-wide culture where environmental sustainability is a guiding principle to doing business, providing a viable model of the future to our community, the region, and the world today. Wilford Peterson wrote, "Big thinking precedes great achievement. Working together, we have thought large and have achieved great results, with more to come." Thank you.
Thank you, Deborah. The big challenge, of course, is how all this happens. And of the buildings that we've been involved with so far in certification, managing to get another 7 certified in such a short time is an unbelievable challenge. That's where the relationship and partnership with Doug Cott from the San Diego Green Building Council comes to play. Doug is able to marshal exceptional forces. Doug is able to facilitate and to oversee all of the work that goes to ensuring that the staff within the institutions and the operation of the buildings meets these goals. I'd like to introduce Doug Cott from the San Diego Green Building Council.
Thank you, Peter. And thank you, City of San Diego. Thank you, Interim Mayor Gloria. Thank you, San Diego Gas and Electric. Thank you, Balboa Park Cultural Partnership. And while I am the person that is speaking on behalf of the San Diego Green Building Council, this is actually a much more significant community-wide effort. We have, as Peter mentioned, been able to marshal our volunteers in our community to assist with the technical work that's been needed. We do this in service to our community as an educational opportunity through a program we call our Green Assistance Program. And today my job is to sort of put in context some of the work that has happened throughout the park. And I need to point out just a few kind of simple notions that throughout the U.S. that buildings consume more energy than any other sector. That within San Diego County, our buildings consume 80% of electricity that's generated here. That the buildings, again, are among the largest contributors to climate change. So these are critically important environmental issues and with significant impacts in our quality of life. Of course, the greenest building is one that is already here. And of course, we're celebrating the LEED certification targets and milestones for these historic structures, which are so important to our community. Related to that, of course, in terms of what these buildings represent culturally, they are also representing leadership internationally in the field of sustainability and sustainable building operations. So I would like to suggest that we are fortunate here to have a culture of sustainability in Balboa Park. And of course, this affects how the buildings are operated, which is in turn in respect for the occupants, the participants, the visitors that go into the facilities. And of course, the health of our economy is tied to our building sector. The nation's economy hinges on a healthy building sector. It touches really every industry, from insulation to mechanical equipment to steel, wood, metals, and this affects our local economy as well. So we fully expect that 1/4 of today's building stock will be demolished and replaced by 2030. And with the examples of these 100-year-old facilities that are achieving sustainability right here in this culturally significant part of our community, we are here to sort of help share the celebration today. And so with that, I really just want to thank you again for allowing the opportunity to partner from our organization to again, the city, Balboa Park Cultural Partnership, San Diego Gas and Electric, partnership. Thank you for your leadership and what we're able to accomplish here. Thank you.
So, of course, the first building that Doug and his crew are working on is the San Diego Air and Space Museum. That's a wonderful challenge, I think is the right way to say it, Doug. Lots of opportunity there to deal with very large air volumes. I'm learning so much about this, it's just hilarious. We talk about old institutions. We talk about groups who've influenced the park. And we talk about X museum that's been here for a long time. We talk about X institution that's been here forever. Infrequently do we actually consider the whole reason that the park can actually function, and that's with the provision of utilities and services. And one of the groups that's been around for the longest, and I don't think I'm misstating, it's something like over 100 years involved specifically with the park, is SDG&E. Since 2008, and indeed earlier, SDG&E have been heavily involved with the Balboa Park Sustainability Program, that's a group of the cultural partnership, to drive sustainability across the whole park. The movement towards recognising and identifying LEED buildings is simply the latest step in ensuring that both from a private perspective, the operation of the institution, where they can actually save a lot of money by taking these steps, to the public persona and the profile, SDG&E have been fantastic. Frank, I'd like to introduce you to the stage and to hear a little bit more about the wonderful work of SDG&E and the help that they have been able to provide to the park. Frank, thank you.
Well, good morning, everybody. In 1915, San Diego Gas and Electric did something innovative here in the park, something at the time hadn't been heard of. We helped flip the switch to light the park, something that was brand new at the time. And so we started thinking about it. Years passed, and we said, what can we do in anticipation for 2015 celebration to bring something innovative here to Balboa Park? And as we started to take a look at the various museums and the consumption of the energy here, we saw the endless possibilities of being able to work toward making this one of the most sustainable parks in the country. And that was by way of looking at ways to save energy. We looked at ways of being able to save natural resources, allow the museums that instead of paying their utility bills, that they could put those monies into programs and continue to provide those rich cultural programs for our community here. That's what brought us together with the Balboa Cultural Partnership, the San Diego Green Building Council, and has led to the goal of achieving 10 museums with LEED certified. Now, if you don't know, it stands for Leadership in Energy and Environmental Design. This is a very coveted certification that you will get. And to have 10 parks here in San Diego County, or 10 museums here in Balboa Park, is a huge feat. And I know that the eyes of the world will be looking at San Diego when they come in 2015, and they will take note of the sustainability measures that we've come together on. Deborah touched on it. 6.3 million kilowatt hours of electricity that have been saved already here in the park. Let me put it in perspective. That's the equivalent of taking 926 cars off the road. That's a significant achievement that we've been able to do. But it hasn't been just parks. We've addressed issues like water consumption as well. To give you an idea, we're now saving here in the park 4,000 gallons of water per day. Now, when you take into account that the delivery of water accounts for 20% of the state's energy consumption, that's a big deal here as well. So what we've found also is that the changing of the lighting alone has been something that not only has saved a lot of energy, but it's also made it a great improvement with new technology. So when the museums are coming out with their new exhibits, the new lighting is only making that experience even better for them. So this is a great thing. For us at San Diego Gas and Electric, saving energy is our #1 goal. Before we go out and build a new power plant or transmission line or what have you, we try to make sure that we're maximizing the efficiency of our operations for our customers. And so this goes right to the heart of that. One last point, right before 2015, one thing that we're working on also is we're working to improve the reliability of the system here in Balboa Park. So prior to the launch of the Centennial celebration, we will be changing over a lot of infrastructure that you don't see, infrastructure that's underground or hidden in the bushes here that's going to improve the reliability of the system here. This partnership between the Balboa Cultural Partnership, the San Diego Green Building Council, the City of San Diego, and SDG&E has been a wonderful partnership that's going to showcase San Diego and put its best foot forward in 2015. With that, let me introduce today's mayor, Mayor Todd Gloria. How are we doing?
Thank you, Frank. I am today's mayor, tomorrow, and probably through about March or so, just so you know. Good morning, everyone. It's great to be here, of course, in our city's crown jewel of Balboa Park. I want to thank all the speakers before me who are helping to explain just exactly what we're doing to get this park in shape for 2015. And I want to thank my friend Ben Clay, who's been leading our 2015 Centennial efforts for some time now. You know, we are, of course, focused and excited about the opportunity to put on a wonderful celebration worthy of our park in 2015. The reality is that projects like what we're talking about today is really the legacy. And it's what the people in 115 are going to be grateful to us that we have done. And so that's the context of this celebration and our today's announcement. I want to also recognize the representatives from our other park institutions, of course led ably by Deborah and by Peter, who do wonderful work with the Cultural Partnership. But all of these park leaders have a lot of things on their plate, and yet they're here not focused just on their institution, but on the park as a whole. And that's important if we want to see the park succeed. I'm excited to join today's announcement that we're adding to our inventory of LEED certified buildings, bringing the total number of certified buildings up to 10 by 2015. That's a big goal, but it's one that's achievable, and it's one that we ought to accomplish. Balboa Park has long been known as our city's crown jewel. It is iconic for its iconic architecture and for its various recreational, cultural, and educational opportunities. But increasingly, because of the hard work of the individuals who are here today, it's also becoming known as a model for sustainability and energy efficiency. I am proud that Balboa Park is the largest urban cultural park in the country and a part of our region's cultural and economic fabric. Of course, this history dates back longer than 1915. The park was established in 1868. And of course, we had two World Expos that brought the world to San Diego and established the Spanish Renaissance architecture that, of course, is what we're known for here in Balboa Park, shaped the way that we know it here today. I think it's safe to say that in 1915, there wasn't a great deal of consideration given for energy efficiency or sustainability. I believe that people actually cared about that then, but it was just different. There was no LEED certification. And that's why I think this is important, because when we talk about LEED certification, and Doug was alluding to this in terms of the new construction that's coming online, the point is if we can do it here in Balboa Park, we can do it anywhere. Am I right? That you can do it with some of these beautiful structures with magnificent, iconic architecture, that they too can be retrofitted to be relevant in the 21st century. And so I want you to look at these buildings, and I want you to think about their beautiful, their look, their accessibility, their openness to the public. But I want you to think a little bit deeper and know that each of these buildings can add to our community's values around sustainability, and certainly that those are helpful because they're going to ensure that this park is here for many more generations to come. Balboa Park is a city treasure, and it's one that's, of course, rapidly approaching its centennial, and this program will make sure that we are in shape in time. And I want to just kind of tie this into a bigger thing, because later today, my administration will be revealing our climate action plan. And this is going to be a sea change for the city. We are going to establish really aggressive milestones for the reduction in greenhouse gas emissions from our city. It's going to be aggressive. We're going to have to work hard to do it, but it's the right thing to do in order to make sure that our environment, that our natural resources, that our quality of life is preserved. Because that's, as San Diegans, what we love, right? We live in the best place on earth, and that's marked by a magnificent climate and a wonderful quality of life. And so when we hit those high targets as a city, it'll be done in part because of the great work that's going on here in Balboa Park, because we can take 100-year-old structures and make them sustainable. We can certainly do that with newer structures and structures in other part of our city. And so this partnership today, this partnership between the city, between SDG&E, the Balboa Park Cultural Partnership, and the San Diego Green Building Council, this is the kind of collaboration that's going to make sure that we win the fight against global climate change, and that we can, in fact, make sure that this park is here and useful to the public in 21-115. So you all with me in doing this? I want to wrap up just by thanking all of you again for being here. Thank you, SDG&E, for your commitment to the park. As Frank mentioned, this is a long-standing relationship, and it's only getting better with time. And so, Frank, thank you to you and to SDG&E for your commitment. Thank you to Deborah and to Peter for the cultural partnership. Again, with that park-wide view, not just individual institutions, but everyone rowing in the same direction. And of course, to the San Diego Green Building Council, who's helping us to figure out how to make this happen, how to make those goals achievable, and how to actually get them done. So I appreciate everyone's involvement. This is a great day for our park. Thank you very much.
So my final parting words. The city, everybody knows, is a major city asset. City assets aren't managed and can't be managed without the tireless and unrelenting work of, I can't tell you how many departments. I'm only going to pick on two, but there are a bunch that are impacting us every day. We had one LEED meeting, and I think we probably had 20 people in the room all wanting us to succeed. Park and Rec and Environmental Services are the two departments we always work extremely closely with, but all of the city, we thank you, and it's wonderful. If any of the media have not got your little media kit, come and see one of our guys. I think everybody, most will be available should you have a discussion you'd wish to have with us. From an interview perspective, thank you for coming along, we appreciate, and thank you to particularly Barry and Michael from the Old Globe for letting us hang out in their plaza today. Thank you guys, we appreciate you coming.